Hey guys, what's up? It's Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to my Fate of the Gods quest guide. This quest just came up today, so I thought I'd get a quest guide up as soon as I could in order to make it as useful as I can for you guys. So first things first, before we get into the actual quest, I'm going to go over the requirements. It is, of course, a members-only quest, and there's some pretty high skill requirements that you need to be able to do this. So those are 73 agility, 75 divination, 79 magic, 76 slayer, and 67 summoning. And you're going to need to fight a lot of high-level stuff in this quest, mostly during the middle of the quest, because the sort of big fight-ish at the end of the quest isn't as much of a fight as it is a tank test. So yeah, it's really useful if you have 96 plus summoning to use a pack yak, but if you don't, then you can use a war tortoise or a spirit pack pig instead. Now, completion of these following quests is only recommended and not required to do this quest. So yeah, it is only recommended just because they give you additional rewards, and the storyline will make more sense if you've done these quests. And they are the Firemaker's Curse, Ritual of the Majorah, the Temple at Sentiston, and the World Wakes. Of course, a lot of those are high leveled, so it's not very it's not very likely that all of you will have them done. But if you do, it'll make more sense and stuff like that. And also completion of the Majorah Memories mini quest, which was released last week. Will give you an item that'll make it a little bit safer to explore the Frennesque area during the quest, and it'll also help you uncover an XP gaining secret in the quest. So if you have that, bring it with you. And the item, it starts with an E, I can't really pronounce it, but if you have that, bring it with you because it'll help protect you during the quest. But yeah, let's get into doing the quest. As far as required items go, you're going to need some pretty decent combat gear. I highly recommend it if you have Ceridome and War Priest armor to wear that, because that'll protect you from some of the lightning strikes that happen during the trip through Frennesque or whatever the hell it's called. And also, I would highly recommend you to bring the best beast of burden you have, preferably a pack yak. If not that, then a spirit pack pig or war tortoise and just stuff a bunch of food in there because you're going to need it for the fights and stuff like that. And also some boosting potions if you have them, maybe an overload, as well as maybe like a prayer potion or two. And then the rest should just be food. And that should be pretty much it. You should be fine with all that in order to do the quest. There's no sort of special items you need, just some combat gear. But one thing you might need as well is a face mask. So if you have a Slayer helmet, I highly recommend wearing that because that'll protect you from some of the smoke damage in the quest. So yeah, if you have a face mask, if you don't have a Slayer helm, then probably just bring a face mask and just wear that. But a Slayer helm will be a lot better because it actually has some boosting stats. Anyways, let's get into the quest. Okay, so to start the quest, you're going to need to come here, which is south of the Eagle's Peak lodestone if you have it. So yeah, just if you don't have it, look on the map, the Eagle's Peak lodestone, come to the south of it. There'll be a quest icon on the map. It's kind of near where you do the Firemaker's Curse if you've done that quest. And then talk to Azzandra and go through a few of the chat options, and eventually this will pop up in your face, asking you if you want to start the quest. It has all the requirements on there. And you won't need any items specifically, but it is recommended you bring a face mask type thing. So if you have a Slayer helmet, I would recommend wearing it because it helps protect you against some of the dangerous things in the quest. Also, one thing I might kind of recommend is wearing Ceridome and War Priest armor, because that can help protect you from some of the high-hitting things that are unblockable during the quest. Slisky will appear, or Slisk, whatever, however you say it, I don't care. But he'll appear, and you can, I don't think these specific chat options really matter during the quest. You can pick whatever you want. But then Slisk will summon the World Gate right there. So, yeah, he just sort of brings it out of the Shadow Realm, I think is what they said he did. I didn't really read this stuff too much because I'm not too interested in the stuff. I usually picked the option that provoked the least amount of chat. And right here you have to pick... actually, no, wait, maybe that wasn't it. But coming up soon, I believe, you're going to have to pick if you want to tell Azzandra about quests about something, and it's up to you to decide if you want to or not. But Slisky will summon these things onto the pillar next to him, and this is the code like combination thing for unlocking the world gate. And I derp around with this for a while, but if you guys look at the world gate right now, you see that icon that's on it, the little fork, sort of like a pitchfork. There's these two rotate things in right behind me right now, like just to the north of the world gate, and you have to click on those, and your character will stand in front of them with one hand on each, and you want to click on the right one to rotate it until that pitchfork thing pops up, and then you want to rotate it to the left until a different icon pops up, and then rotate it to the right again until a different icon pops up, and that will unlock the world gate. That's how it's done. The wording is a little bit confusing on the pillar, so if you didn't understand it, that's what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and skip to the part where I figure out how to actually unlock it, because I kind of start DCing here as well, which was kind of annoying. So I will be back when I figure out how to unlock the world gate. Okay, so pretty much as you guys will see right here, I'm just talking to Slisky because I was a little bit confused, but if you talk to him, he kind of explains it. And so if you click on the controls that I just clicked on, you see my character is now standing at them with one hand on each. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of people here. I was doing this kind of early. So just rotate it once, and then you want to rotate it to the right until you get the pitchfork. I had already had the pitchfork. And then you want to click the rotate it to the left until you get this symbol that I'll show in a minute once I get to it. And then just click rotate left until you get it, after you get the pitchfork, because you have to rotate right until you get the pitchfork first. Then once you get that symbol right there with the line down the middle and a little line coming out to the left, you want to start rotating it to the right again. And once you get the star looking symbol, you will have unlocked the world gate. So yeah, not that hard. It just was a little confusing when I did it because it was just the quest had just come out and the wording was a little confusing, but Slisky made it a little bit easier to understand. And then he'll do some zappy business, and then the world gate will be unlocked. And you just have to go through a little bit more chat. And this is where you have to decide if you want to tell Azzandra what Slisky said. I decided not to. I mean, I don't even know what Slisky said, to be honest, because I wasn't reading it, but I just decided not to tell him. So either way, it's up to you to decide for yourself what you want to do during this quest. And there's a lot of decisions you have to make, so make those for yourself, because what I do isn't necessarily the best or smartest option. But once you are ready, step through. Make sure you have plenty of food and some good combat gear. You're going to need some. I mean, if you have Drygors, that'd be great. If you have, I think a Royal Crossbow would do okay with Royal D'hide. If you have maybe Armadillo for that, it would be a little bit better. Or maybe if you have like a Seamaul or a Dual Wield Chaotix or something, that'd be good as well. You need some pretty high level combat gear for this though. And I recommend you bring a shield if you want to be better at tanking at the end of the quest. So once you walk through the world gate, there'll be a little bit of weird dialogue that you can't really skip. And once that's done, you will be free to explore Frennic Cay or whatever. So the only way you can go is across this ledge here. But yeah, this is where you want to activate your thing if you've done the Majorat memories. And this place is very dangerous because there's a lot of these steam vents around here that are that will hit you for 400 damage if you walk over them. And then you see right there, lightning just struck the ground. That'll hit you for 1500 usually if you get hit by it. And this is why I recommend War Priest armor for this, because if you get hit by lightning, the Saradomin War Priest armor has a chance of blocking it, as you guys will see it happens to me later. But pretty much there's one set way you have to go, pretty much, but there's like a lower path and an upper path, and it's a little confusing, but this place is kind of maze-y. But right at the beginning here, I go the wrong way. You can cross that little bridge that I sort of didn't even notice when I was doing it, but the top path will be a little bit quicker. Just make sure you're aware of the things around you, because they will hit you like for a little bit of damage. Those little things will hit you for 400, and then the lightning, of course, if that gets you, will hit you pretty high. As you travel through this area, you will see memoriam crystals. As you see here, they'll be all over the place. These aren't required for completion of the quest. They are you can use them to get more lore out of the quest, and you also get an extra reward after. If you collect them all, you get 2 cosmetic overrides or something. So yeah, they're not required to complete the quest. You can just run through this area without without exploring at all, and just get as many as few memoriam fragments. Like if you just don't care. I collected as many as I found here because I thought they might be required for the quest, but turns out they're not. So if you don't care about the memoriam fragments, then you can simply just run through the whole area. That little archway I was standing under earlier will heal you for 77 HP every few seconds, so if you want to save some food, you can stand under there for a little bit. But yeah, if you had crossed that bridge earlier, remember when I thought that that was a dead end when I took the lower path? There was actually a little bridge right here that you could cross, and that would take you the underway path instead of going over the bridge. It's up to you which path you want to take, though. I mean, they're both pretty much the same. You just got to be a little bit careful of lightning and stuff. So yeah, that's always just a factor. Just make sure you're watching your health and everything, and you make sure you don't, you don't get zapped by any of the lightning bolts if you can avoid them. I do get a little bit lost kind of at some points, but it's a linear path pretty much. There's just a few ways branching off. As you see right there, my Saradomin's Blessing blocks that lightning strike from doing too much damage to me. So it's very useful to have the War Priest to save you, because sometimes you cannot avoid the lightning. But yeah, you want to cross over this little lava sort of waterfall thing and then climb up this cliffside. There's a few points in this area where you can take the top path or the low path, but usually it's pretty straightforward. You'll come to this pit area. I found a lot of lightning was striking around this area as well as when I went up this hill. I don't know if it was just me, but it was kind of annoying and was doing me a lot of damage. So you want to get through here pretty quick. Climbing down the drop is not the correct way to go if you're trying to advance in the quest. This is just a way to get another memoriam fragment. So don't climb down the drop unless you're trying to collect all the memoriam fragments or crystals, whatever. So yeah, just be aware of that it's not the correct way. It's just a way to get another fragment, and then you can't climb back up as well, so be aware of that. You have to go down and then go back around, as I will show here, because you'll climb down and you'll be right back where you were with the lava waterfall thing. So it's not too far back, but still, you don't need to do it if you're just trying to complete the quest fast and you don't care about the memoriam crystal things. But anyways, climbing back up here, you will see, I'm just going to run back up the hill as before, but just make sure you don't climb down, because it's easy to click on that thing when you're trying to click up the hill to jump down. So just keep walking on here, and there'll be a place to wall run across this little overhang, which kind of looks a little bit strange, but yeah, you'll get over here, and then you can jump down again, and over there in the distance to the north, you'll see another memoriam crystal if you want to go get that, because I mean it's there. That one's pretty like easy just to grab. It's not too far off the beaten path, and there's no real dangers in the way of it. Like there's no steam vents blocking it or anything, so that one's not too hard to just grab for yourself. But either way, continuing on, you want to go south, and then underneath this little sort of narrow passageway, and then you come over here. I mean, this place is pretty linear. It's kind of hard to get lost. But next thing you want to do is slide down this little thing. And then there's these things that'll spit out lava every few seconds. So just be careful of those. I mean, you can try and time it, but they spit it out pretty often. But it only hits you for 500 damage. And right afterwards, there's another little healing vent thing if you want to heal up. Next thing you can do, you can go south here and grab another memoriam crystal fragment. But it is pretty dangerous, this path, because there's a lot of lava, a lot of steam vents, and some lava will hit you on the head sometimes, so just be careful. Going up north this way, there's really nothing. It's sort of just a pathway around if you don't want to go through the steam vent area where the memoriam fragment is. You can take this alternate pathway if you go up instead of taking the lower path. As you guys can see, I'm coming back around. So if you take the upper path, there's no steam vents, but it is a little bit longer and you can't get the memoriam fragment. And I just sort of run right back through the steam path and get some more damage on me, which is kind of dumb. But this is the way you want to be going, and I get zapped by some lightning there. You can walk up this sort of narrow pathway thing, and you reach this area, which I'm not really sure what the deal is with this. Like, it looks like maybe you should be able to knock that thing over or do some sort of agility obstacle to get over to the other side there. But I could not find anything to do over here, so I don't really know what the deal is with that. but you're going to want to climb up the cliffside if you want to continue onwards, and that's pretty much just the way you want to go. And you want to cross the bridge. You have to click on the bridge to cross it. You can't just walk across like I'm trying to do here. You have to walk across the rock formation. Sorry, it's not a bridge apparently, but yeah, just walk across that. And then coming over here, you'll encounter some more of these things that spit out lava like down below. And unfortunately for me, I actually lag out here, and I end up dying because of the lag, which, as you guys can see, right when I get to the lava, I just lag out. So I end up dying, and that's kind of like really annoying because I was getting close to the end, and if you die, you have to walk through the whole place again unless you've already reached the end. Then you get a checkpoint. But you keep all the memoriam fragments on death, and your grave appears just outside the world gate. So it's not hard to get back to. It's just annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and cut back to when I get back to this area I'm at right now, and then I'll continue the quest from there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. Alright, so I'm arriving again at this area, and as you can see, right when I'm about to get back there, a system update starts to happen with only 3 minutes left on the counter. So that was pretty annoying. I thought I wasn't going to make it again because of this, but I ended up making it, as you guys will see. So right here is where I died because of the lag. So I just got to run through. This one actually hits you to thousands, so be careful. It could potentially kill you. But then you just want to drop down the ledge right there, and run down past some more steam vents, and all that stuff. And then you will actually pretty much be at the end if you walk just over here and then cross this one last rock bridge. I don't know why this one's not a formation. It's actually called a bridge. But once you cross this, you're at the end, and this will count as a checkpoint for you. So click enter the opening, and that is a checkpoint. So you can return back to this location should you die in the later parts of the quest. So yeah, just be aware of that. And right here, this is where you can place your memoriam fragments, right in the middle of this room. You just click activate the memoriam device. It'll ask you if you want to place all held memoriam crystals. You can just click yes, and you'll push them into the ground. And then there's a bunch of like chapters, and you can like view memories that aren't your own. And like if you want to look at them all, go for it. I don't look at any of them because it's just lore, and that is why you don't need these to complete the quest. So yeah, just be aware of that. And there's another memoriam fragment to the north of this room by the door that you have to go through if you want to collect that. You'll see here, I'll go get it. And this door is a puzzle. It's one of the only puzzles in this quest, actually. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing, but if you hit it the first time, some stuff will pop up. I didn't really look at it too hard, but because I just went back to go place the memoriam thing. And but basically what you need to do for this puzzle is have all of the avenues like in between the dials lit up, and you light them up by matching the symbols. So yeah, I'm basically just going to show you the finished result of each one. Like I don't really have an explanation of how to do each one of them. So I think if I can, I'm going to try and zoom in on it when it's completed. But as you guys can see, let me go ahead and zoom now actually. You can pretty much rotate any of the given dials, and they'll just rotate it once clockwise. So you need to light up all 4 of the things in between each of the dials by matching the symbols on each dial. So as you guys can see, I'm rotating them, and I end up getting it just before the system update kicks me out. So if you want to pause the video and match yours to my dials, then go right ahead and do that, because it should be the same for you. And now pretty much if you get kicked out like I did, you can just click enter at my furthest checkpoint, and you will be brought back to this location, the center room sanctum thing, and you can continue from where you left off. And there's more puzzles to do with the door. So yeah, the first one wasn't the only one. As you guys will see right here, you actually have to do 2 more. This is the next one right here. It's just it's just got a lot more dials on it. So I just fiddle with it. It's pretty easy, to be honest, to get the dials done. If you want to do it on your own, what I recommend is making sure that the ones that connect to the middle one are lined up first, and then once those are lined up, do all the other ones around it. So you can just pause the video if you want to see how I completed it. Once it's completed, as you guys can see right there, that was the completed. That was that one completed. It's pretty easy. But the last one's kind of difficult, so yeah, I'm going to skip to all my fiddling around. Actually, I won't skip my fiddling around with it, because maybe if you do the same thing, it'll actually it'll actually complete it as well. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this one. This one kind of took me a little while, but I definitely recommend lining up the middle ones first before you do the other ones, because they are not, the middle one is the most important one that like you have to line up with all the other ones. So it is pretty easy though. It's a pretty easy puzzle. I like the concept though. It was a good puzzle. Like, it wasn't too hard, but it wasn't too easy either. But like, it was completely doable without a guide. But yeah, pretty much just you want to have them all the symbols touching each other, and all those like little white lines should all be lit up. And I thought I had it done here, but I actually missed the top right one connecting to the center dial, which I finally realized. But this is the last stage of this puzzle, and it is the only puzzle of the quest, so not too hard, and you know, should be pretty easy for you. But you can pause the video once I have it completed, in order to, you can just pause it and then make sure that each of yours is the same as each of mine, and you'll have it completed pretty easily, because I'm pretty sure it's the same for everybody. I've heard that it is, but I mean, if it's different, then I'm sorry, but you know how to do it. Based on what I said, it's not that hard, so I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. I mean, I did it, so yeah, it's really not that hard to do. But I think I'm getting close to completing it here, because this one did take me a lot longer than the other ones, of course, but there are a lot more things on it, so it is bound to it is bound to take longer. But I am about to complete it right there, so pause the video if you want to line yours up exactly the way mine was. But once you have that last one completed, as you guys can see right here, the door opens and you can enter an opening at the end of the hallway. So this is where you're going to have your first fights of the quest, so be prepared. Be prepared for this, because it is kind of it's kind of hard, but not too hard if you know the mechanics. So yeah, just be prepared with some decent weapons and food as well. So upon entering this room, the crystals will block off your path behind you, and the path ahead is also blocked. These 4 pillars will sink into the ground once you get into the middle of the room, and these 4 things will start flying around the room. You can kill them in any order, but pretty much you need to attack one of them in order to kill them. I recommend killing the smoke one first, because if it flies by you, it will lower your stats as well as damage you for a high amount of damage. But I end up encountering the blood one first, and each one of these has its own special attack, and they're kind of like mini nexes. Then they each represent a phase of Nex. So the blood one represents the blood phase of Nex. So I'm going to assume that if you use any bleeds on it, it will heal. So I recommend don't use any bleeds on it. And when it hisses, that means any damage you do to it will heal it. And I am pretty stupid, don't realize this for quite a while. But yeah, when it hisses like that, make sure you don't attack it until it starts attacking you again. Then you can do damage to it once again after that. So yeah, just be aware of that. They are kind of hard to hit, and they do a decent amount of damage to you. They hit pretty consistent 500s. If you don't have Soul Split, I'd recommend just protecting from melee against these guys, because they can do a bit of damage. And that one, I almost die there because the smoke one flies by me and does that 1500 damage. So just be aware when they're flying by you, they might do a high amount of damage that you should be careful of, because it might kill you. Like, watch here, it happens again. I hit like almost a 2000. But I think the blood one's the hardest, just because it takes the longest, because it has that healing sort of ability. But once you have that down, you can move on to whichever one you want to kill next. I mean, it depends what order you kill them in. Just whatever order you encounter them, just kill them in that order. But I'll just explain each of them as I go. But they denote their special attack by the little hiss that they do, so that's a giveaway right there. And you can't catch them if they've run past you. They are fast, or they're as fast as you, so you cannot catch them. But the next one I encounter is the ice one. So this one is representative of the ice phase of Nex. If you guys have done Nex, then you'll know what it is. I mean, this one, it attacks you with magic, so just protect from magic against it if you're using protection prayers. And when it does its hiss, it stuns you, like it freezes you or something. But it's not like the prison. I didn't get hit for a massive amount of damage after a certain amount of time. It just froze me, and I could freedom and easily get out of it. But I ate up to full just in case it was going to hit me for high damage, but it didn't end up doing it. So that one's pretty easy to kill. The special it does is just stun you, and right here I get kind of bullshitted. I don't know why it didn't let me attack the smoke one, and I just get hit for a 2k like for no reason. But the next one I end up encountering is the shadow one, I think. So that one is representative of the shadow phase of Nex. And for those of you who've done Nex, you'll know that during the shadow phase, she spits out these dark little dots that'll hurt you for a lot of damage if you're standing on them. And that's exactly what this thing's special attack is. When it hisses, you just have to move from the spot you are standing on, because it'll spit out a little dark dot, as you guys will see in a second right here. Hiss, so you want to move out of the way, and then a little thing will like explode right underneath where you were, and that'll do a lot of damage if you're standing on it, I assume, because that's what it does at Nex. So yeah, just be aware of that. It's pretty easy to dodge though, especially if you know it's coming and you just know if it hisses you need to move. Now the smoke guy, I didn't see him do any special attacks to me when I was killing it, but I kind of killed it pretty quick. I used 2 thresholds on it, and it died really fast. So I don't think this thing has a very strong special attack or anything though. If anything, it just lowers your stats, or maybe it stuns you, because the Nyx has that drag stun on the smoke phase. But that one's not very doesn't have a very quick special attack like some of the other ones do. I just recommend killing that one first, because if it flies by you, it does a lot of damage. I don't know if they all do, but that one definitely does, so just be aware of that. Once you're done though, you can move on and out the north door and climb up onto this thing, where there's this weird alien looking thing like draped across this cliffside here. And I don't know what happened, like maybe right when you walk in you're supposed to get this little cutscene, but I didn't end up getting it until a little while. So you gotta, if you don't get a cutscene when you walk in, or you don't get like a chat option or something, you gotta walk around a little bit and then you'll get it. So yeah, just pretty much do it like I do. I just walk around a lot, and eventually I get a little thing like that starts talking to me. So I don't know if that's supposed to be triggered like, you know, right when you get up here or what, but if you walk around a little, you'll get it. And the little purple ball is actually Zeros. So yeah, that's interesting, I guess. I don't know how Zeros is a little purple ball, and I don't know how he's talking to you either, but I guess, you know, we'll just roll with it. But he will take you to a special place to talk, and this place looks really trippy in the game if you like rotate your camera at all. But apparently this is inside your mind, so your mind looks weird as fuck. Just as a general rule, apparently. But just so you know, this is not Zeros in your mind. He is looking into your mind. You'll have choices later in the quest if you want to allow him into your mind to help you, and I don't understand why you wouldn't. It's up to you, though. If you don't want to let him in, don't let him in. If you're planning on destroying him by making the incorrect body for him, then I would not recommend letting him into your mind. Maybe, I don't really know though, because maybe if you let him in, there is no drawbacks. But I let him in both times, and I also made the decision to help him return to his body. So I mean, it's up to you to make these decisions. You can either make the decision to let him into your mind or not, and to make him the correct body that he wants, or one that will sabotage his return. So it's up to you, really. I don't know if this is going to affect later quests, but I do know that it is your choice. So yeah, don't take anything I say in account, or anything I do, because it is honestly your choice what to do. Because yeah, and you can skip some of this chat, because you can just say you only want to hear the crucial stuff that you need to know, or you can ask him all these fucking questions about the lore and stuff. So it's up to you. If you're interested in the lore, go ahead and read it. If you're not, skip it like I do. because that makes it a lot faster to get through the quest. And this is a pretty decently long quest. I mean, I did it on day of release, so that made it a little bit longer for me. But yeah, I mean, is it a Grandmaster? I don't even know. Do they really? Is this another Grandmaster? If it is, it's kind of strange when they release two in so quick succession. But yeah, that's one of the times where you have to pick if you want to let him in or not. And this is pretty much the tank test part of the quest. So you'll see at the top a thing that says Ma's Nightmare, and Ma is that big thing that's on the cliffside. And that's going to slowly deplete to 0%, and once it's at 0%, you're going to be done with this tank test, and this is the last part of combat in the quest. But every 10 or 15 seconds, Ma will scream in your face, and that does about 1,500 damage and stuns you for a few seconds. You can tell when she's about to do this because she'll start moving around a little bit more and get all restless and stuff, as you guys will be able to see in a second here. Yeah, like her hands will start moving a little bit more. This also damages the creatures you're fighting here, which is kind of interesting because it does like almost 10k damage to them at sometimes. So yeah, but as you see her mouth's moving a little bit, that means she's about to scream in your face. So just be prepared. I recommend using Anticipation because it'll prevent the stun, and that'll make it so you can be a little bit safer. But at around 75%, a second thing will spawn and start attacking you. There's a little thing I recommend for this because it doesn't appear that killing these Muspa things speeds up the time at all that the thing goes down. It doesn't seem to speed it up at all. So what I recommend you do is kill them until you get 2 of them on you that are only melee, and then just run around because you're faster than them and you can outrun them and they won't be able to damage you, because these things do hit you pretty hard. They'll hit like really consistently, and they won't hit a lot of zeros. So yeah, just be aware that it's the best strategy is to make it so that only melee ones are attacking you, and then just run around the area in order to avoid getting hit by them. They'll slowly get killed off by Ma's screams, but it will be a lot slower than if you killed them yourself. At around 50%, a third one will come and start attacking you, so it does start to hurt a lot more. And I just recommend making sure your HP is always at least above around 2,000, just in case she screams at you, you're not ready, and you like almost die or something. But I think in a minute here I realized the strategy of the running around once I get 3 melee guys on me. And this is where I recommend you use your shield, because you don't really need to attack these things once you have the melee ones on you. So bring a shield with you alongside your main weapon, whatever you're using. Royal Crossbow, Drygor's, Chaotix, whatever. And you can use abilities like Barricade, Resonance, things like that to keep your HP up and protect you. I don't know if Barricade protects you from Ma's Scream attack. I didn't bring a shield, but if it does, please let me know in the comments so I can maybe put that in the description or something, because that would be very helpful to know. But either way, it will protect you from these things attacks, and they do hit kind of hard. But I think, yeah, right here I realize, as you guys can see, this is the best way to avoid getting a lot of damage. Just run all over the damn place and avoid these things, because the melee ones cannot catch you if you are if you're running around in the room. But just be aware that Ma's Scream will stun you, so be ready when she's about to do it. It's about every 10 or 15 seconds, and just use Anticipation or Freedom in order to keep running around. So these things won't be able to hit you. But as you can see, her Scream just killed off one of my things there. Luckily, another melee one spawned, but if one that's not melee spawns for you, you're going to want to kill it until you get another melee one, and then you can just run around and they can't touch you. So it's pretty effective in order to avoid damage. Just be aware when Ma is about to scream, because you need to be ready with a way to stop the stun. Now, I wasn't so lucky this time. I got more of these things to spawn, and around 20% of the Nightmare, a 4th one will spawn in and start attacking you as well. So around this time, it's a little bit harder to get just the melee ones, because of course there's more of them, so you got to get kind of lucky, and the ones that you had before are going to start getting a lot more damage on them because of the screams that Ma is doing. Well, once you get under 10% and maybe a little bit closer to 5%, a fifth one will spawn. So you just need to be really careful around here and just keep eating if you need to. You know, like if you're about to die, just just keep on eating and be careful, like, because these things will hit. They will combo you pretty hard, and they hit pretty high, in up to the 500s almost in every hit, and they attack pretty quick. So once the thing finally goes to 0, Ma will do one last scream, and that'll one-hit all the remaining Muspas, and then Zeros will say she returns to her slumber, and your screen will do this really weird shaky zoomy in out thing for this entire conversation, which is really annoying. I don't know why they did that. So I just wanted to skip this conversation because it's really dizzying, the thing they do. And right here is where you have to say if you want to let Zeros in again or not. I picked to do so because why not? And but if you don't want to, hit no. I don't really know what the effects of it are. I think during the Muspa fight, since I let Zeros in, I had infinite prayer with my curse prayers. That's what it seemed like to me though, but I'm not 100% sure how it works. Either way, once you're done with that, you won't be needing to fight anything else during the whole quest, so you are done with combat. Climb down here and descend the ledge thing. And now we have another annoying minigame with divination. And the way you have to do this is there'll be a stick on the ground called the measure. You have to pick that up, and there'll be some wisps floating around that are already, harvestable, so just go up and harvest them. You'll get Ma energy and Ma memories, and to craft Zeros's body thing, I think it's called like a simulacrum or something, you need 250 energy. So the memories will convert to energy right away when you click on the energy rift, so you'll convert them into 2 or 3 energy each. So yeah, you need 250 though, and you want to weave a dark simulacrum if you want to help Zeros, or a light simulacrum if you want to sabotage him. It's up to you which one you want to choose, but I picked the dark one because I let him into my head, so I was kind of afraid of trying to sabotage him. But yeah, either way though, the remaining wisps, there'll probably only be 2 or 3 around that are already harvestable. The remaining wisps will be faint. They'll have faint in the parentheses after their name. In order to make them harvestable, you need to left click on the measure in your inventory, and that'll place it, and any wisps that are close enough to it will become harvestable. So this is actually really annoying because the wisps tend to move around a lot when they're just roaming and they're faint and stuff. So placing the measure in the right place is a bit harder than you'd think it would be, but you want to place it in a you sort of just want to place it in one spot and then kind of wait for the wisp to get to it. You don't really want to try and run up to the wisp and place it, because by the time you have it actually placed down, the wisp tends to have moved away before you can before the measure actually comes into effect, because it takes a few seconds for the measure to be activated after you place it down. So this is a kind of annoying little divination minigame thing for this quest, but yeah, I mean, it takes a little while. Once you've harvested all of the wisps that are in the center room though, you have to go out into the branches that you can see on the mini-map. I think it's kind of like the one that's just basically east, but kind of northeast. Pretty sure that one has a memoriam crystal in it if you want to get another one of those. I'm pretty sure there's one in there. I don't know where they all are because I haven't collected them all, but I just thought I'd point out the ones that I do have and have found, just for any of you guys who are trying to get them all in your during your quest. But I definitely did not get them all. I don't know where they all are, so yeah, apologies for that, but it's not required for completing the quest. Anyways, as you guys can see, I am sort of like looking around for more wisps, and there aren't any more sort of on the in the area. And once there aren't any more wisps, wait, do I have multiple measures? I'm not really sure. I think you can only place one, but there's still one in my inventory. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can place more than one. I don't know. You could try that. That might make it easier. But once there's no more wisps to use the measure on, you want to run down one of these corridors and expect the fragmented sphere at the end, and just just skip, just read the chat, skip it, whatever, and that'll make another wisp spawn. So then put down your thing, and then harvest from the wisp again. And you simply want to do this for each of the avenues. One of them made like 3 wisps spawn, but once you've gone through each of these, and sometimes when you come back out of one of the things, like one of the hallways, more wisps will be in the middle. So just keep on harvesting wisps and inspecting the fragmented spheres, and eventually you'll have 250 energy. So I'm going to skip to where I have 250 because it takes kind of a while, and I don't want to make this video drag on for no reason. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory how to get any more wisps to spawn. Just talk to the spheres and go through the chat options. Pretty easy. So once you have acquired 250 energy, as you guys can see here, I have it, you can choose to make a dark or light simulacrum for Zeros. The dark one will help him, the light one will sabotage him. I decided to make the dark one. Didn't really think about it too much, and I just did. Once you have it, whichever one you choose, exit to the surface with the rock face, and the little purple balls of Zeros will be floating there for you to talk to. And just say, you can change your mind even still right here if you want. It'll say no, I meant to sabotage, or you can just click yes and help him, or I assume if you want to help him but you're accidentally sabotaging him, it will say that as well. Then a cutscene will ensue, in which is I'm sure the cutscene will be different if you sabotaged him, but this is the one for the dark simulacrum choice. You'll sort of go into it and transform into his into his new form of an actual body and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool cutscene, I guess. I never really was a big fan of the RuneScape cutscenes, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, it looks kind of cool. But once that's done, the big thing, Ma, will start to wake up. So that's pretty much a good sign to GTFO, because Ma is pretty much nuts, and she's gonna kill you. So you'll get teleported out just in time before she crosses your face in with her hand, and she'll be pretty pissed about you escaping and spit fire all over the place. So you'll teleport just to the exit, like pretty much right where the world gate is, but you can't leave yet because Zeros wants to talk to you. Now, from here until the end of the quest, it might be different if you chose the light simulacrum. I don't know, but this is the dark simulacrum pathway. So you can say it was your honor to help Zeros return, or you're a little apprehensive. I said I was a little apprehensive just because I didn't want to, go full gung-ho. Zeros is the best mode on the bitch, but still, I did help him. That choice I already made. I can't go back on it. So yeah, there is that. But once you're done talking, you can exit through the world gate, and because Ma is getting closer or something, so you definitely need to get the hell out, because she's gonna pound your face in. But once you get here, you want to talk to Azzandra again. It kind of lags. Like when I talk to Slisky, nothing happens, but then something pops up, and then nothing pops up, and then I click. Like it's weird, but just talk to Azzandra, and he'll say he can feel it. He can feel Zeros, and just say you are ready, and then you'll be taken to another sort of mind state thing with a bunch of people here. Actually, you have Zeros, then you have Slisky, Azzandra, Char from Firemaker's Curse, and the Nex from the God Wars dungeon. So they'll just say a bunch of stuff. You can read it if you like. It's just a lot of lore, and sort of Zeros is actually rejecting Slisky, and sort of telling him to basically tell him to fuck off, because Slisky was a bad, he's done a bunch of bad shit, but he seemingly doesn't really care that Zeros is just telling him to piss off. But still, it is kind of I think it's kind of a big plot point that Zeros sees through his ruse that he's been putting on, pretending that he's loyal and all that BS. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. You're pretty much done with the quest at this point. You just got to go through all these chat you know, all these chat options and all this like sort of talking that you can read if you'd like to know what happens. But yeah, that's basically it. So it's a pretty easy quest. I mean, the combat was a bit difficult, but not too hard really, especially if you're going in with knowledge of what's to come. So yeah, just be prepared and you should be able to do it without much problem at all. But I don't think you have any more big choices to make in this quest. Actually no, Zeros does say one more thing to you that is you can sort of make a choice about, I guess. I'm not really sure if it affects anything, but it'll come up here in a second. So yeah, we'll just wait on that to come up. Waiting for it. I mean, it's after everybody teleports out, of course, because Zeros gives them sort of instructions or something, I think. Tells them what to do, or, you know, all that business. And you're pretty much just standing there, like, waiting. And then once everyone's gone, he'll turn to you, and you can say whether you think it was a good idea to help Zeros or a bad idea, like it was the right decision or you should have sabotaged his return. I'm sure these, I mean, I don't know what's different if you pick the light simulacrum option, but as I said, this is the dark simulacrum sort of way. So yeah, just be aware of that. And then Zeros will teleport out. Farewell, farewell. And you are done with the quest. So you'll be brought back out to the world gate, and you'll get the quest complete message. So yeah, congratulations, you have completed the world, no, not the world wakes, the Fate of the Gods quest. And you get a bunch of rewards and stuff. So yeah, pretty good, decent amount of experience rewards. And you get this shard of Zeros. I think you can use that to like communicate with him. But yeah, pretty decent rewards, you know, nothing too, you know, major or anything, but you know, all pretty good. And when you equip the Shard of Zeros thing, it goes into your pocket slot. I'm not sure the uses of that. But yeah, I don't know any of the optional rewards either. I know you can maybe get a large prismatic lamp from something or other, but I don't really know where you get that from because, of course, this is the day of release and nobody really has that information yet. But I'll make sure to put it in the description once that information is known, or any other optional rewards that I find out about. I just wanted to get this quest guide out as soon as I could, just to make it so anyone who wanted to do the quest with a guide could as soon as they wanted to. But yeah, other than that, not much else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and favorite if you did. Subscribe for future videos. I'll be doing a lot more guides like this on day of release updates and stuff like that, as well as my Barrows Beast series. So yeah, I'll be uploading another episode of that tomorrow, and I'll see you guys there. So yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.